Hi, it's me, Ingrid INFP, and today I'm doing a little bit of a sock video, like older INFP Insights usually does. Um, I like my fluffy socks, so also you probably don't want to hear me because I just tested positive for COVID, and my throat is scratchy, and these are probably just feverish uh, dreams of a maniac, you know? So today you're just going to be seeing my feet and not my um, sick face. And hopefully you like this pillow that I have of a fox and my little log pillow, um, my little bearskin and stuff. All this cozy. Um, I don't know if I'm feeling hot or cold. I've been feverish all day. Been drinking lots of tea. Um, yeah, this is the first time that I tested positive for COVID, which is kind of a big feat considering it's been like 3 years since COVID started, and I work in the healthcare system. So yeah, me. Um, that's good. But so I'm making this video mainly because my head hurts and I can't sleep. I wanted to talk about Lucia. I have tinsel here on the side. It's if anybody is familiar with Lucia Day, check it out. It's a Swedish holiday. It's one of my favorite Swedish holidays because it's basically about Saint Lucia, from Italy, Saint Lucia, and she brought light with her. And the 13th of December was thought of as the darkest night of the year. Now we're smarter, so now we know that, well, that's not the case. But it's still a pretty dark night. And so we do like a interpretation of Saint Lucia with a woman who has candles, a crown of candles in her hair. And then she walks around and sings and brings breakfast and buns to people in the morning while it's still dark. And she has with her several attendants who wear tinsel in their hair and around their waist. Lucia wears a red ribbon around her waist. And yeah. And we sing these special songs for Lucia, which are separate from Christmas songs. But yeah, they're pretty nice songs, very beautiful songs, and all Swedish kids learn it from like the day that they can learn to talk. They can learn to sing Lucia songs basically, and then once they're adults, they know all the words by heart. So everybody can join in and be part of the Lucia procession. It's basically a procession where, one person is Lucia, and then there are several of her attendants, and then men have to, you need to have men in because they can do the lower tier stuff, the lower, how do we say it, the lower tones, whatever they're called. And they're like star boys. They have a cone on their head with a star on it, and then they have a little staff with a little star on it. Nowadays, since that's, little boys would rather be a little Santa, have a little Santa costume, or they are, or you could go gender. You could because now, as you don't need to be a girl to be Lucia, it used to be kind of the whole premise of it. But now there are boys who can be Lucia, so that's great. Lucia doesn't need to sing, so that's kind of a great point about being Lucia. The only thing is that Lucia is the first in the procession. She always goes first, so that's a little bit of a either positive or negative point depending on who you are. I got to be Lucia once from we had a little Swedish association in France when I was growing up. And Lucia, by tradition, has long blonde hair, and I had extremely long blonde hair, so I got to be Lucia one year. And the only problem is that I had thought about cutting my hair, and I wasn't allowed to cut my hair until after Lucia, because otherwise they wouldn't have had a girl with long blonde hair. So I had to wait until after Lucia to cut my hair. That was pretty a big deal. But yeah, I really recommend that you like listen to the church versions of the Lucia songs, because the echoing and the different different tunes, it's just magical. So I really would recommend that. At times I would watch Lucia on TV, or once I was in a church and listened to it too, watched it, and I'm almost near tears every time. So this year, I didn't know that I had COVID, but so I must have spread it to everybody there. I did feel a little bit scratchy in my throat when I was going to sing, but I thought that it was just because I wasn't used to singing. I don't sing the rest of the year. But so I got to be one of the assistants with tinsel on her hair, so that's why I have the tinsel. You can choose either you have fake candles or real candles. And it's a little bit dangerous to have real candles in the crown of Lucia, because that's kind of, well, the wax can drip down onto the girl's head, and there have been stories where the Lucia's hair burnt off. So that's not great. Every year, a national Lucia girl is like Miss France or Miss America. They have a Lucia for every year in Sweden that they nominate. Yeah, and she gets to sing at like the biggest Lucia, basically. And there are like tons of Lucia parties all over the place, and they all sing, have the candles. Kids obviously have like electric candles, but we had actually real candles. I was holding a real candle in my hand, because assistants, they have the candle in their hand, and Lucia has her hands in prayer position, so she doesn't hold a candle, she just has them on her head. And I was holding this candle, and I got all this wax that started dripping down on my hand while I was walking. So it just felt a little bit warm, but I really could have burnt myself. And we were at my workplace, like a health clinic, so if something had happened, at least we would have been prepared. We were prepared in case there were burns. We went we had a procession by the dentist's office, and to the few patients that were waiting in the waiting room. And then we went down, and then we went to our colleagues who were sitting and drinking mulled wine in the coffee room. And they were also drinking, well, drinking coffee and eating ginger snaps. And then there are these Lucia buns that you eat. They're saffron buns. They're in the shape of an S. And yeah, so they were eating those, and they were filming us and cheering for us. And then we left, and then we even went to the pharmacists and sang for them. We don't really work together, but they were happy to see us. And yeah, I came late to my first patient because of this. And yeah, I had no idea that I had COVID this whole time. I had been feeling terrible this whole week, basically, Monday, Tuesday, and today, Wednesday. I've also not been feeling great on Sunday. So I don't know. I must have infected everybody with COVID. I had several really old ladies at work that maybe I was the reason that they're dead today. I don't know. I can only deal with the facts now. But yeah, so I'm staying at home. I'm reading Rano Contini's book, The Infinite Castle. Pretty nice cover. I've read 2 chapters so far. I'm a pretty slow reader. I mean, I'd actually recommend it, even if I haven't read a whole bit. I'll probably make a video just about that because it deserves its own video. But yeah, so that was my discussion about Lucia. I've seen some people claim that NFs don't really like holidays. And I think it depends which holidays and how you've experienced them, and if you see any meaning to the holidays, as opposed to just like glorified consumerism. I think that it's mostly the NTs that probably dislike the holidays the most. I think that NFs can like the holidays. The channel Dueling Personalities claims that, well, most INFJs don't like holidays, and I can attest that I think INFJs like the holidays less than INFPs, because INFPs, we have the SI memories. If we have good memories associated to holiday, then the holidays are kind of an opportunity to relive them. Then if we have bad memories associated, then it might be a little bit of a problem. I'm not really into Christmas. I'm not religious, and to be honest, the concept of the holiday is not like that exciting to me. I'm not really into Easter either, because my family never really celebrated Easter, except for doing like a little Easter egg hunt in the garden. I like Midsummer because there's a lot of dancing and singing, but that's only a Swedish holiday. I like Halloween because it's kind of a fun holiday with spookiness, and it's during the autumn, so you can enjoy all the autumn things. I've never really celebrated Thanksgiving because, well, I've never lived in the US. But I do think that it's kind of an important thing to be grateful for the things that we have. So I do like the purpose of the holiday. Then the history behind the holiday, probably not. Let's see, what other holidays are there? Valentine's Day I don't celebrate because, well, I'm single. I sometimes buy myself a little thing for myself. What I like in Sweden is that we have holidays for different foods. You don't get off work though, but they have a cinnamon roll day, and they have a chocolate cake day, and yeah, and Lucia, you get to eat saffron buns. So I do like holidays where you can eat different say like different buns. That's kind of what that's what holidays are for, is for the food. The food is usually good. I also get a lot of memories about my family members, especially Christmas, or a lot of, we always gather with my small family. And it reminds me of my grandmother, um, who's, well, gone. I did not like my grandmother. She was a very bossy person. Um, but she did really, I think that she was like an ESTJ or ENTJ something. She was really into like getting all the stuff done for Christmas, and it, she would often break down crying during Christmas because she would have worked so hard to get like the perfect Christmas, and she would like burn herself out. Yeah, after when she died, Christmas became much more of a calm and relaxed holiday, but it did come at a price that we didn't have all the greatest stuff. When she left, my grandfather and the rest of our family were kind of lost. Um, well, especially my grandfather, because, well, how could we celebrate Christmas without my grandmother? My grandmother was she was Christmas basically. So how could we do it without her? It took several years before we could figure it out. Because, well, my grandfather is either an INFP or an INTP. So he has the SI third slot. So he has the nostalgia but not the practicality. So that means that it's difficult for him to actually do the practical stuff about Christmas. So I relate to him on those points. But yeah, so I think that the holidays can be experienced in different ways by people in the same type, but I think that we'll run into many of the similar problems. So me and my grandfather have the same problem of like, how do we actually practically fix a Christmas party? Like, we don't really know. And we need to rely on my ISTJ dad to get the planning right. And my dad like started asking about what we wanted to eat for Christmas, like while it was still October. He's writing down a planning of like what meals we need to buy and make. Yeah, my mom's a perceiver. I think that she's an ENFP. She doesn't take it too seriously, so she's just winging it. I have certain things that I won't really budge on because of my SI. So I went to, like, well, I could budge on them, but I'd be a little bit sad if they weren't there. I'd have to, like, you can't do too many side steps from the stuff that I like. Otherwise, well, I have to compensate in some way. There was some year where we didn't celebrate Christmas together. So I like that we celebrate Christmas together. I like that we try to make a fire and a fireplace. I like when we used to have a tree, but it died, so now we have to buy a tree. So I like when we buy a tree and we decorate it, because it's kind of a ceremony, just the decorating of the tree. And then there's actually a song in Swedish when you're taking out this tree to like say goodbye to Christmas. So there's a specific day where you're supposed to take out the Christmas tree. So yeah, I like that. I like that there's songs for everything. There's also a song for drinking, and there's a song for dancing around the Christmas tree, and a song for the coming of winter. We used to have a record player that worked at my grandfather's house, but it broke, so We can't play the record that we usually played. So now my grandfather plays like classical music that I kind of dislike. But well, he likes it because when he was little, that was what he listened to. Um, there are all sorts of these things. I like making ginger snaps. Um, my grandfather likes this weird fish that you eat in Sweden that's um, in lye. Like this fish has been put in bleach, basically, and it's become this white jelly wobbly thingy. And I don't like it, but my grandfather likes it, and actually my brother likes it for some reason. Um, I like the sauce that goes with it, but the actual fish is kind of like it's like trying to eat a ghost or something. It's really wobbly, transparent shit. So yeah, it's called the lutefisk. My grandfather loves it, so we'll see if I buy it for him this year or if we skip that. If he's the only person eating it, then I don't really feel the. Well, he hasn't asked for it this year, so I don't know. And now this video is getting long. I felt like just getting out of my system. I do like a lot of things about different holidays, about Christmas, and about other things. I've missed and skipped a lot of holidays. So tell me what you guys think about the holidays. About if you like the holidays, if you hate the holidays, if there are holidays that you celebrate that you love and that you want to talk more about. And how you deal with the holiday season. I mean, for me, it's pretty chill. I don't really do much. But yeah. And yeah, I hope that you guys are all healthy. I heard that Dolus was also had a cold. I'm doing fine. But yeah, I'm away from work for the rest of the week. I'm actually kind of happy that I got COVID finally, because I thought that maybe something was wrong with me, that I was like weirdly immune to this weird disease. But no, it's that is just I'm human like everybody else. So yay, hooray, hooray for me, for getting COVID. Yeah, tell me what you guys think. Bye.